March 2020. In a single week, the world went silent. Flights grounded, streets emptied. The invisible hand that fueled the global economy stopped. The virus had no passport, no army, no flag. Yet it conquered what centuries of wars could not: the entire world economy. But as the world shut down, something else woke up. A reset. Economic, political, and psychological, that would rewrite the rules of wealth forever. For the first time in modern history, everything stopped at once. The global supply chain, a web so intricate it connected a farmer in India to a factory in China to a store in Chicago, suddenly broke. Trillions vanished from the stock market in days. Oil prices fell below zero. Producers were paying people to take it away. It was more than an economic crash. It was a revelation that globalization, for all its strength, was fragile. One virus, and the machine collapsed. The old world was built on movement. COVID froze that and forced nations to look inward for survival. Then came the rescue, not by armies, but by central banks. The United States printed over $6 trillion, the largest stimulus in history. Europe followed, Asia followed. Money, digital, limitless, flooded the world. It saved lives, but also planted a time bomb. Because when governments print wealth faster than they produce it, the balance shifts. Value becomes illusion. And illusion, when magnified, becomes inflation. For the first time, people realized the economy wasn't built on gold anymore. It was built on trust. And when fear spreads faster than money, trust becomes the rarest currency of all. While millions lost their jobs, a new class of billionaires rose. Technology, once convenience, became lifeline. Every lockdown fueled digital giants: Amazon, Apple, Google, Zoom. Their profits soared by over $3 trillion combined. It wasn't just survival, it was transformation. The real winners weren't countries, but platforms. Power shifted from governments to corporations, from physical economies to digital empires. The 21st century oligarch wasn't a king or politician, but a coder. And quietly, as fear spread, data became the new oil, mined, refined, and traded at a scale humanity had never seen. But while the top rose higher, the bottom sank deeper. Global poverty increased for the first time in decades. Small businesses, the backbone of every nation, disappeared overnight. Governments took on record debt, and citizens paid with silence and compliance. The gap between rich and poor became not just an economic divide, but a digital one. Those with access thrived. Those without vanished. The world had entered a quiet war, not between nations, but between classes. The connected and the disconnected. The essential and the forgotten. Then came the whispers, the Great Reset. A phrase born from crisis and fueled by power. The World Economic Forum proposed a global rebuild: cleaner economies, digital currencies, universal basic income. Some called it progress, others called it control, but one truth stood clear. The pandemic had given elites something rare: the power to re-engineer society itself. As the virus faded, a new world order emerged. Cashless, contactless, connected. What began as survival had become a blueprint for governance. Yet, through chaos, humanity adapted. Companies evolved, communities went digital, families found ways to work, learn, and dream from isolation. In struggle, resilience was reborn, and slowly the gears began to turn again. Not as before, but differently. The world learned that survival isn't about returning to normal. It's about redefining it. The pandemic became a mirror, reflecting what we valued, what we feared, and what we could no longer ignore. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The pandemic stripped away illusions of control, of permanence, of certainty. It taught the modern world what ancient Stoics always knew: that everything can vanish in a breath. Yet in that silence, a new kind of wealth emerged. The wealth of adaptability, the fortune of gratitude, the power of unity. COVID-19 will be remembered as more than a disease. It was the great teacher, reminding humanity that strength is not in invincibility, but in our ability to rebuild.